The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour. Brought to you by Nadex. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Tom and Tommy O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. I'm Tommy O'Brien, joined by Tom O'Brien. We have a Friday. We get the jobs number coming in at 300,000 plus. Expectation was 200,000, and we have markets up. Dow Jones positive by 154 points, trading 25,049. S&P's positive by 17, and Nasdaq positive by 55 points, or almost 0.75%. Morning, Tom.
What's happening, Tommy? How you doing?
Not much, man. So another day, another market action driving event. It seems like we got news, and of course, we've been waiting for this non-farm payroll number. And man, what a number it came in at in terms of job growth, 300,000 plus. Expectation was around 200,000. Kind of the contrary to that is wage growth under what they were looking for. Seems to be the continuing story, month in, month out.
No doubt. And you know, the NDX 100, where this is the make or break it, right? We're right here. It's going after its high right now. You get the NQs there. It's over its high about 6 points right now. So, you know, bottom line is that we're going to see whether it can get away from this high, whether you get any price spread behind it. And I expect it's pretty cool. You know, this hour that we're on, this is going to be it, man. Bottom line is that it's either going to make it or break it.
Yeah, no, markets are definitely digesting it still, right? And, you know, the initial pop, so the NASDAQ 100 was trading at about 69.63 just prior to that news coming out. So we are a solid 67 points higher from where we were, almost a full percent on the NASDAQ 100 just before that news. And all the major markets, pretty dramatic, same thing. I mean, Dow, I'm looking at, Dow was trading 24,850, call it. From there, we're up 200 and almost 50 points. Again, almost, you know, a full percent. So basically, all the markets were just around even to slightly negative, and they've all popped about a full percent. S&P, same thing, trading 27.32. We're up on almost 27.60. You're talking about 28 points, full percent from where we were before.
Yeah. And so the NDX, you know, when that jobs number come out, it spiked to 7,035. The high that we're talking, though, is 7,022. So that's what we're going after right now. So this is going to be a cool hour to watch this whole thing shake out.
Okay.
You know, inside the NDX, you get some strength in here, man. That's the bottom line. When we take a look at it, you know, the movers out here, you got Wynn Resorts up 7.4%. You got Lam Research up 4%. You got Microchip. Yeah, Microchip Technologies up 2.9%. So you definitely got some action in here. You got a Friday, and we'll see whether that can get it done. Gold, you got action in gold out here too. You know, gold was down $5. You rejected lower price. Silver was kind of telling us this yesterday. Silver wouldn't move lower, where they whacked gold again yesterday, and it's that King Dollar. You know, King Dollar out here down 136. You're at 90.02, and King Dollar just continues to have a hard time holding price. You know, so lots of different moving parts out here today, for sure, man.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Gold, you know, holding well for sure. I have the chart up here. So early in the pre-market session, call it, you know, from about 4 a.m. until all the way to about 7 a.m., we're just kind of hovering around 1321. We start to trade lower right into that news number, essentially. We're down at about 1315 prior to the news, and we get a little bit of volatility after the number. We kind of hang tough, and then right at about 9:30, we get a little bit of an acceleration from 1316. Now we're at 1321 and climbing as we speak.
Yeah, and we need this thing to hold today, too. That's the bottom line, because it was going into that spike from March 1st, and that's where we went down, and we went down pretty hard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We get down into that 1303 area, so this is a big number.
Yeah.
You know, big number. There's no two ways about that.
And it's especially interesting how you have such dramatic job growth without the wage growth, and how the Fed is going to interpret that, which is the real question. You know, are they gonna focus on low wage growth, or are they going to focus on jobs, you know, plowing into the market? And is that going to mean 3 rate hikes, 4 rate hikes, and so forth?
No, there's no doubt, man.
Market doesn't seem too worried about it today, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you know what's intriguing is that I would say even going forward, each and every time that, you know, the economy can go forward, but technology continues to basically take out the wage growth factor. And where I'm going with this, you know, out here this morning, so listen to this, Tom and folks. This is amazing. This is like over the top. We're always talking about Amazon, right? So Amazon's getting into, you know, every business that's out there. Well, guess what this morning? This is going to, like, this is great for consumers. It's great for you and I. Well, Amazon is looking to get into the mortgage business.
Okay.
Amazon, folks, will take apart the mortgage business beyond belief. It's like, oh my God, you know. Now I expect that it'll take them a bit of time to get into it, right? But picture something that you got, you know, like Quicken Mortgage, right? They're a monster.
Yeah, Quicken Loans, yes.
Quicken Loans, and it's all digital.
Yeah.
You know, he started from he was a very small company, but he got that down pat by being everything digital.
Sure.
Like, okay, and then, you know, so Amazon is looking at it. It's like, oh my God, you know, they got us on Prime.
Yeah.
And what they'll do is that they'll basically take that industry, bring the spreads dramatically down, because the spreads in that industry are non-transparent.
Yes,
you know?
Very true. Nobody really knows how much they're paying to Quicken Loans, right? I mean, you know, even when you're in the industry, it's tough. You know, even when you're in finance, even when you have a finance degree, let alone the average person that has no background in finance whatsoever, let alone mortgage industry. Yeah, I mean, I've gone through mortgages and I've tried to, you know, and it's like I can't process how much money the company I'm with is actually making. And that's tough because I like to shop around, and it's something that you almost can't do because everything is so intertwined with what you're paying. There's no money up front. You're paying X amount of VIG, you know, so forth. I agree.
It's so true, Tommy.
Yeah.
Okay, so picture the same thing. Like, I go through a lot of closings, right?
Yeah.
And guess what? Exactly what you said. I try to figure this out left and right. I says, okay, where are they making the money?
Right.
Okay, you know, like, so picture, folks. Sometimes when we're selling, like, I'm moving a house out in the next couple of weeks, right? And what ended up happening is that they want the person's buying it wants the broker to pay half of the closing costs, and that's what they're going to do, right? And then I'm looking at the HUD document myself, and I'm still trying to figure out, okay, where's the mortgage money where are they making the bread? Because what used to happen, folks, is this. It used to be a lot easier, and I'm going back like 25 years now, because the points on the mortgage are right up front, meaning a point is 1%, okay? And you knew what you're paying on points. The differential now is like, it's confusing.
And it's actually a lot better as opposed to 10 years ago, because those HUD documents too, HUD is where everything is actually spelled out better than in most, you know, if you're not with HUD, it can get really, there's not as many requirements. We'll be right back, folks.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionics, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated folic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. We take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Tommy O'Brien with Tom O'Brien. We got the Dow up 200 points now, trading 25,096. S&P's up 23 points, or 0.85%, almost a full percent, 2762. And NASDAQ, the leader so far. They're all pretty dramatic, but NASDAQ up 68 points, or over 0.9%, trading 74.96. Yeah, so Amazon, I mean, just pretty remarkable the run over and over and over, right? I mean, just going back to a week ago today, we were down at $14.55 on Amazon, Tom, at the beginning of last Friday. And from there, we're up $110, $105 on Amazon from that open. Now, to put that in perspective, how many shares does Bezos have? We talk about it, right? 80 million shares. I think it's 78 million, something like that. We'll call it 80 million. Every dollar it goes up is 80 million. Every $10 it goes up is 800 million, and every $100 it goes up is $8 billion in the week.
Oh my God, that's sick.
It is. It is. You know, when you get a stock that can move up $100 over a 7-day period, over 5 trading days, and you own 80 million shares of that stock, that's a quick $8 billion.
A quick $8 billion. Can you imagine that?
Pretty remarkable.
And the thing, you know, this every time, you know, I can imagine, you know, the banking structure in general, looking at this and saying, oh my God, they're coming in the finance business now. And the mortgage business, by the way, is pretty easy. You know, the bottom line is that we all say we want money for a house, right? They appraise the house.
Right.
You get the money. It's a paper deal, folks. That's all. You're pushing paper.
Sure, yeah. And then, you know, I mean, you know what will be interesting too, and maybe they'll change. You know, I'm just thinking literally in the last 3 seconds as you say that, because the normal business plan, right, is you take it and then you sell that back into the market and collect your profits, and you're not keeping all those mortgages. Right. Well, maybe that even changes, because guess what? You're getting middled somewhere there, right? The people buying that are buying it with a positive business plan as well, right? They're buying it with profits built into whatever they're buying it with. Most mortgage companies are just choosing to focus on the sale of that mortgage, the acquisition of that, asset and the sale of that asset to collect their profits. I mean, maybe Amazon changes it. Maybe, I mean, they could put out a bond to market to just keep all of those. Could you imagine? I mean, I'm just literally, anything's on the table.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
You get Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, so they're still the biggest buyers of everything, and that's the government entities, basically, okay, because the government took them over. So in that aspect, the government is saying that they want to get out of that business anyway.
Yes.
The bottom line is that, guess what? That may be one of the first ways out of that business, because you're still just pushing paper, but you're floating the bond for the mortgage, and then, of course, there's investors that are buying those. I mean, there's plenty of people that buy Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac paper.
Sure.
For the interest.
Yes.
There's no doubt.
Definitely.
That's how it works.
Definitely. Yeah, and I saw a headline yesterday, and I didn't read the article, but something, and it spoke to the fact, with Amazon going after potentially a banking relationship, not becoming a bank themselves initially,
yes,
but teaming up, whether it's JP Morgan, and it would most likely be JP Morgan. They already have a relationship with them in terms of the healthcare venture that they're going into. JP Morgan's such a powerhouse, in terms of being so financially secure. Why not? JP Morgan.
Huge.
Yeah, they already have, once you do a big deal with a company like that, the relationships are in place. Why not extend that if they both see benefits to teaming up with each other? And, that I said the headline was that Amazon could have 70 million banking clients in no time. And when you think about it...
You know what's interesting about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, folks? I bet what we're going to see, that when I was looking at that, I'd say, okay, you're looking at JP Morgan, you look at the checking aspect, right? Guess who can float the paper on the mortgage deal we're talking about?
Sure.
JP Morgan.
Sure.
That's because they float it now anyway.
Right.
Okay? They're floating it for the government. But see that, oh my God, yeah. So
that's in the mortgage. But even to bring it back, if you have people with your bank accounts hooked into everything, and you've already spoken about how Amazon offers a 2% discount.
Right.
If you pay, you can load money from your debit account or your bank account. That way, Amazon's well aware. They're paying 1.5%, 2%, whatever it is, for your credit card processing fees. So what better way to cut that out than to actually make arrangements with a bank, and then everybody that has an Amazon account becomes an Amazon/JP Morgan banking customer, and automatically, you're not paying the 2% to Visa. And guess what? In their business, 2%'s a big deal, right? In terms of
it's huge.
They are the kings of, they'd almost offer it at cost if they could just keep growing their revenue over and over and over, because eventually that pays dividends, as we've seen.
Right, and then what's going to happen also is that if we all have our money just sitting there waiting to buy stuff, how cool is that for Amazon?
Right, and that's what I'm saying, that it will pay dividends, right? If they can just get you into the system, where you have somehow your banking account is now tied there, and then guess what? When it comes time for a mortgage, well, there's just the ease of use, let alone the cost, right? The ease of use, saying that there's probably one click of a button and your financials are uploaded, one click of a button, and et cetera, if your banking relationship is there. I mean, we all know if you've gone through a mortgage, you have to, update your 3 months of banking statements. I mean, what an easier way than to say, guess what, click of a button, we already have those statements. We'll have an offer for your loan in 45 minutes.
Exactly.
Which, as good as Quicken is, and I went through Quicken in my last loan. They're not there yet, because they still have to go through it's an online process, and they do a lot. You can upload it, but they're still acquiring all that information from third parties, versus like if Amazon just they were the third party in every aspect of that arrangement.
Amazing.
I know. It's almost intriguing to think about. That's what I mean. It's amazing that Bezos has, 17, 18% of the company, but it's really amazing when you have that type of wealth and the growth is still there. Now, Amazon's PE is through the roof, man, so it's factored in terms of the growth. But, geez, I mean, it wasn't long ago that people were calling for Amazon at 1,000, and that was a drastic, proclamation. And here we are at above 1,500. Right. Yeah.
So here, let's look at this for a second. So the PE is at 189, but let me see this for a second.
That's so which one? I see PE 342 there, and then the estimate PE, so that's future.
That's going forward.
That's a forward PE versus their hardcore, because forward PE factors in just estimates. I just want to put things you know, their PE on their previous earnings is 342, which is through the roof, man. You know,
yeah, there's no doubt, but you can see how they're growing too. It's like they're on. Oh my God.
Oh right, no, I agree. Yeah.
So, yeah, they're online. This is like really wild. Their online store, it's saying a 3-year growth rate of 108. No, 27%. North America, 17% internationally. Their web services, oh my God, their web services is growing by 55% a year.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I mean, the internet is growing, right? For sure. And so to put things in quick context, though, Apple, which, you know, is becoming more and more of a non-growth and just a giant company, but their PE is only 18, and they have some serious growth ahead of themselves as well. So Amazon is 342. Pretty remarkable. All right, come on back, folks. Dow's up 194, Nasdaq's up 65, S&P's up 22.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender. Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Tommy O'Brien, Tom O'Brien. Dow up 202, Nasdaq up 65, S&P up 22. Markets kind of just hanging at these levels. I say hanging, jumping, you know, Dow from 150 to 200. Not too much action after that initial pop off the 830 jobs number. Relatively calm.
Yeah, and let's go over to the, so you had the NDX. The NDX is over its highs. The composites, the NASDAQ composite is trying to get into them right now. We got to 74.99. The high out here is 75.05.
Okay.
So we'll see whether that baby can do it. If we go over to the NQs again for a second, because what you're going to see, we're right at where the spike came in to the market this morning. We got 10 points above it, but right now you're at 7,036. So this, actually, this is interesting. The high is 7,047 though, and we made 7,045. Wow. Okay. This is interesting, man. Okay, so we're still going after these highs. That's what's happening. You get a long day out here.
Yeah. Hey, Friday.
Yeah.
Non-farm payrolls. Big surprise. Low wage growth. Rate hike's supposed to be coming later this month, right? March is pretty much factored in there. But the question is going to be, you got Jerome Powell there, and where does he go with this type of dramatic jobs, but the wage growth not there. You got unemployment at 4.1%, and wage growth just not happening, which is interesting in terms of the inflation and how that relates.
Yes, and if we go back to this, let's go back to the 10-year, because that's what we're talking, right? So you're down 8 ticks. You get 837,000 contracts, and that is anemic contract volume on the way back, folks. You know, you're coming into 1.9 million contracts. So this is still saying it wants higher price, man. This is going to be wild. So let's go look at the Fed fund future rate. We're still at 100% for the 21st of March.
Yeah, and even to put things in context there, right? They have an 84% chance of just a quarter basis point, and there's actually a 16% chance that they hike at 50 basis points.
That would be a spin.
Yeah, it would. I don't expect that at all, but it's remarkable to see the percentage that high for a 50 basis point hike. And it just speaks to how confident everybody is that at least one is coming in.
Right.
And I think that's the way to read that more than reading a 15% chance of 50 basis points.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
But then, yeah, so where does it go? So it looks like June 13th, we come to a 64% chance that we'll get 2 rate hikes by then. And even then, to factor it in, you get a 14% chance that there's 3 by then. And then to get it to, and then it goes till about September, you're at 42% for 3 rate hikes. And then it hangs at around 42%. So they have, you know, that's not a low number, 40% chance of 3 rate hikes, right? That's what the market's pretty much saying right now by September.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And if they're going to stick with the inflation number that they need, or that they say they need, they're going to have a problem doing 3 rate hikes, you know?
Yeah, and it's just really interesting how the market, I mean, right now, 3 is kind of like what gets talked about, but man, I mean, 4 gets thrown around, right? And 4 is not even close to factored into the Fed funds futures right now at all.
No, it's not. And let's go over to the dollar for a minute. So the dollar is getting really interesting here. What I mean is that you had the dollar had every right once again to take out no, wrong one, to get up and over its swing high. You know, we got over it. It had decent volume coming up into it. That was last week. So let's go. If we take a look at this. So last March 1st, it gets over it. You had 39,000 contracts, but yet you were going into 41,000, okay? So bottom line, it failed. Yesterday, you go higher. We have volume yesterday. And guess what? This morning, you go over it. It looks like you're going to close under it. It's like, man, they're selling the dollar down again. It's like, if these rates were going to continue to go higher, you'd think fundamentally that that dollar should get some strength, and it hasn't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that in itself was also a big heads up.
And how about Bitcoin? Let's jump to Bitcoin, because hovering around 9,000 now.
Yep.
Quite a tough week for Bitcoin. We started the week off at 11.4. down $2,400 in Bitcoin, approaching 24% decline for the week. And it's not just trading in terms of fundamental news being part of the driver there, with the SEC saying exchanges need to register. That was the first initial shock that you saw. That came in on Wednesday. We were up at about 10.6, 10.8 right before that news. We trained down to about 10,000 on that news. Shake out till about Thursday, and then yesterday we saw a decline as well from about 9,800 down to almost 9,000, and then you had at about 8 last night, you were at 9,200, and from there till about 1 a.m. we slide all the way down to 8,300, and from there a little bit. Yeah, it is intense. Quite a slide over the course of 3 days, and that's not even if you back it up a little more. I mean, quite a week in terms of starting the week off Monday 11.5, and from there we're under 9,000.
Right. And remember, folks, you can test drive the Nadex platform, bring it up. Bottom line, the Bitcoin spread will close at 3 o'clock this afternoon. But guess what? It opens back up Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Whether you're a bull or a bear, the bottom line is that it's a nice trading vehicle. There's no two ways about it, man.
Definitely. And like
if we look at the volume, let's look at these volumes. Look at these volumes. The volumes are going up pretty dramatically inside Bitcoin too. So today, CBOE's done 4,700 coins so far. CME's done 10,000. 2,000
Okay,
contracts.
so say those again slowly. Unfortunately, we just can't see that number on your screen when you're looking at it. So CBOE, we see the top one. It's
CBOE has done 4,700 coins this morning.
And that is contract for contract, so that basically represents 4,700 Bitcoins traded. And the CME, what is the volume on the CME?
2,000.
2,000. Okay, that's what. So when you multiplied 10, it by 5 in your head, so that's where
big number.
It is a big number for sure. For sure. And just to put it, though, so the CME actual contract volume is 2,000, not the 10,000. But then when you multiply it by the 5 Bitcoin per contract, you're talking about 10,000 Bitcoins traded there. And, yeah, I mean, those are big numbers as to what we usually see, especially at 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, they've been going up every day. That's the cool thing. You're going to get a true two-way market in Bitcoin, folks, which is really cool. Do you know what I mean? Saying that's how this thing is shaking out. Yeah. So,
that's what traders like, right? That's
totally
for sure.
Yeah. You definitely want that. The thing that's intriguing. Now, this is the tough thing for people that actually believe in Bitcoin. Here, we'll talk about when we get back. Meaning the bullish aspect of Bitcoin, and then what happens on the derivative.
Okay, we'll let it hang there. Dow's up 260, S&P's up 27, Nasdaq's up 78. We'll be right back, folks.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped, and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a and he speed world of high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, everybody. You get the NASDAQ up 80 points, almost 1.1%. New record highs on the NASDAQ. Dow up more than 250 points. S&P's up 27. All of them up more than a full percent right now.
Big numbers.
Big numbers, man. It's become the norm almost. Not almost. It has become the norm. And let's just, before we jump back to the Bitcoin conversation, checking in on the VIX real quick. So it was interesting. VIX currently trading 1544. There was a spike, it shows, down to 1331 immediately on that jobs number, and I'm guessing that was just kind of a quick recalibration of some of those prices getting set there. But either way, still a pretty remarkably low number in the face of continued volatility. I mean, you know, we've seen some record volatility on the way up as well from those lows, but man, it seems like every week we get either 1%, 2%, one way or the other on a daily basis, and the negatives have been mixed in there, even though we're at the highs as we speak.
Yeah, that is interesting. So, yeah, it ran down there. Yeah.
You know, and
that's,
so that's the VIX is off the S&P, and they're dealing with the option prices, and there could have been some quick option repricing there that calibrated to a VIX reaching 1331. But, and let's just see. So I have that on a 15-minute. Let's put it down to a minute chart. Yeah, so putting it down on a minute chart, we have it spiking at 8:33, and then within the next minute, it was back up to 1492. So for 60 seconds, somehow that pricing reflected a VIX of under 13. But still, VIX at 15. That's the norm, as our man Kevin Hinks likes to say. Somewhere around 15, I believe it is. And for the norm, these are some volatile markets if this is the norm in the past, 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh, there's no doubt, man. There's no doubt.
So continue what you're going to say for Bitcoin. You were talking a little bit about the fundamental aspect of believing in Bitcoin.
What happens, this is where this gets dicey for folks that really believe in Bitcoin and are bulls.
Okay.
And what it is
you're talking about long-term fundamental believers. Is that where?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And this will be a short-term deal, but it is a problem. And this is what it is that we have a derivative market right now. Okay, so the CME, the CBOE, you're trading futures in it, right? Just like when I was selling it or buying it, right? Well, I haven't bought it yet. I've been selling it, right?
Yes, within the Nadex.
What ends up happening is that because you can do that in the derivative market, it makes it more liquid, but simultaneously, it also makes it that people can actually sell it. It's like, hold it. You're not buying or selling the actual coin. You're getting inside a market, and the derivative part of the market can actually drive the market more than the actual physical market itself. And this has always been the argument for the silver and gold bulls, really. You know what I mean? Especially the silver bulls. Because what has happened since I've been in the silver market in 2000, right, is that J.P. Morgan bottom line is that they're one of the biggest movers inside the silver market and the futures market, right? And they just keep selling silver. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And they don't even own it, but they sell it, okay, which you can do. So my point is, I was bringing this up to what happened is that I had a meeting yesterday morning in the office with a couple guys, and one of them had turned me on to this Bitcoin a long time ago, and I never did it, and I wish I did. But we were talking, and he used to be a hedge fund guy, so he understood, you know, derivatives, and he didn't know that even the Nadex product was out there. He knew that the CME product, and he says, oh man, and he realized that, okay, that's going to be a slight problem because of the fact that we can buy and sell that in the derivative market. You know, you see how where I'm going with it? It's like, oh, you know, because it's not like you're putting up the bread. It's not like you even own it. You know, now the difference is, and this is what I saw last Friday. It's going to be intriguing. Remember last Friday, Tom? As soon as the market closed at 3 o'clock, right? Bitcoin went higher over the weekend.
And just the market close, you're talking about that on Nadex, their spreads close at 3 p.m. And there was an acceleration even after that 3 o'clock.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So it's going to be intriguing to see what happens tonight. You know, like the way that Bitcoin's trading.
Go ahead, yeah.
The way it's trading anyway, I think Bitcoin's going to go higher, you know, because if we get inside, we're at 89.91. It looks like it wants to try to get inside this 93.21 again. It would make sense. You get a bounce. I mean, Bitcoin is almost down on what? Almost 20% this week.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
No, definitely.
You know.
Now, I don't think, though, that time hinges with the SIBO and the CME.
Yeah, let me see.
I don't believe it does.
We'll have to find out. We'll have to find out.
I have some of the page up. I was looking for it. Now, number one, they're not weekly futures contracts, right? So immediately there isn't the close there. But
that's right.
The one, and I'm looking at the SIBO page right now, and this I'll pull it over here on my screen, so as you know, we're fighting through what exactly it means. Trading hours for expiring XBT futures contracts ended 2:45 p.m. Chicago time, which would be 3:45 p.m. And I believe that's going to be on whatever month that is settling, though. So I just want to emphasize it. You know, when you say, you know, 3 p.m., that is the Nadex close, but there's a lot going on Fridays especially. We've seen the weekends add some volatility to Bitcoin occasionally because that's where you don't get the trading volume for the...
So this is pretty cool. We'll have to find this out. The last time, what happens, folks, is that you can get the actual trades from the CBOE and the CME, meaning who's trading it, right? And there was an article a month ago. And so IG, folks, owns Nadex. IG is one of the largest legal bookies in the world. They're from London. IG, Tom, right, had 25% of the whole market. That's how they're covering.
Yes, that would make sense. I mean, you know, when you're trading on the Nadex exchange,
that's how they stay in delta neutral.
Right. There are market makers in there, or whether it is, who are then, and it's the same exact thing if you're trading the Dow 30 or the NASDAQ 100.
Yeah,
they are in the futures market, hedging that bet. They're making the market according to where the futures market is. They're providing the bid-ask with the relation that they can almost immediately, usually, take a counter position in the futures, because otherwise you could end up with a huge net position one way or the other.
That's right. They don't want that.
Which is not exactly.
They're making the money on the spread.
Exactly.
They want to be flat, folks. Okay, they're not going directional. If you go directional, you're out of business. Period. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but it was interesting. I read that you sent me that article when it came out, and it would make sense that they were, you know, and that is, you know, time flies. I hate to say it, but I think that's going back almost a couple months now. Which would be interesting to see where it is now as the futures markets have picked up a lot more, as we've said. You know, you now have, I mean, what did you say in there? The volume was 5,000 plus 10,000. You had 15,000 Bitcoins getting traded so far between the CME and the SIBO. That's quite a number, man. 15,000 Bitcoins for sure. There's only 22 million in circulation at the completion of all that ever get created, and they're not all created yet. You know, it's a slowly progressing, as time goes, they're going to get created at a decelerating rate. You know, and they'll eventually reach that 22 million. I don't know if that's like an infinity principle where they never quite reach it because it keeps slowing down as you get closer to it. But still, there's only 21, 22 million, one of those. But that, again, speaks to your point where derivatives add a way to add to that 22 million. Meanwhile, the underlying is only 21 million, totally.
Stay right there, folks. Come right back.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
You don't buy into that nonsense, do you? You know you can't time the markets. I didn't. And in 2006, I set out on a mission to do just that. I began by surrounding myself with the greats like Tom O'Brien, Larry Pesavento, David White, and Basil Chapman. I read countless books and even looked to the moon and planets for answers. Now, we both know that trading is 80% mental. So I learned the exact tools that Tony Robbins uses to overcome fear. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability. And last March, the folks at Timers Digest began tracking my newsletter signals, which through January 18, 2018, placed me as the #1 gold timer for that exact time frame. Now, I can't officially be recognized until Timers Digest has a full year of signals, but clearly I've learned how to time the markets, and I'd like to teach you how to do that as well. Subscribers to Mastering Probability gain access to my live and archive workshops where I show you the exact same patterns that earned me this #1 ranking. If you're looking for great market calls and an education, sign up for Mastering Probability today at TFNN.com.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Learn how to trade options with swim lessons. Brought to you by TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim. Next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. We continue to have markets positive. All the major indices up over 1%, with the Dow up 254, S&P is positive by 28, NASDAQ positive by 78. So we are an hour and a half into the trading day, call it, and we have 5 hours left in trading, though. We'll see where the day leads us. And if this holds at these levels, we'll see. Quite a jobs number, quite an acceleration, and just hanging at these highs. NASDAQ, new all-time highs. Pretty cool.
And, you know, if you go back to 2009, this is the week that we basically made the low at 666.79 in the S&P cash.
Okay.
Isn't that wild?
That is.
Yeah. Yeah. This is, you know, actually, I believe it was made on March 10th, but this would be the week, you know, because, of course, March 10th is on a sad day. That's quite an acceleration, man.
That is. I'm going to pull it up just to take a look at it. We got to put it on a 10-year. And there we are, March of 2009. And I'm looking at the SPY here. SPY was trading at 67. We're now at 286. 276 now. The high was 286. Yeah.
Pretty intense.
Not many blips in that upward trend there.
No, there absolutely wasn't. I mean, it's, yeah. Look at that, $67.10. You kind of went straight up to 122, consolidated for about a year and a half. Went up to 213, consolidated for a year, and then we've been.
Yeah, that's really been since the beginning of 2015. There's let's see. So we're looking at a monthly chart here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 red bars, not counting February that we just had, and those 4 red bars are blips in terms of barely red.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hold on to your seats. We'll see. We'll see where we go from here.
You know, bottom line, keep your eye on today, because the DAX just went from positive to negative. So that's a heads up for our markets.
5 hours left in trading. Stay tuned, folks. Thanks, man. Have a good day.
Have a safe one.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.